All right, we're recording in Zoom. We're live on Facebook. Hello, ladies. It is Friday. It's the last day. I'm taking my jacket off. I was just saying I was getting a little warm. It's crazy here in Philly. It was like snowing earlier. And now, all right, let's get this party started. We're going to talk about avoiding the quarantine 15. Yeah, girl, it was snowing earlier today. So crazy. I am so excited to be here. I am the sixth and last coach of this series. This has been an awesome, amazing, wonderful experience for us as coaches, and I hope all of you got something incredible out of it as well. We're going to talk about what's next for the Coaches of Color Collective a little bit later after I go through the presentation. All right, so this is going to be interactive. I've got people manning questions on Facebook. If you're watching the replay, it's fine. Go ahead and type replay and let me know that you checked in if you have any questions or comments along the way. I like to see them. I like to hear what your big aha moments are. I like to know, like, is this vibing with you? And plus, I'm going to have some questions for you as well. So I have slides. Hey, Brig. And we're also on Zoom. So if you're in Zoom, you can hit the chat button or the chat group chat, hit me up in there. And yeah, let's just make this a fun, interactive discussion about weight. And happy Good Friday to all of those of you who are celebrating Good Friday. Completely forgot that it was Good Friday. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen because I have slides, and it's so funny. I'm going to tell you all why I have slides in a little bit. All right, so if my panelists can tell me that they can see my screen, that would be great. All right, thank you, Monet. Thank you, Siobhan. And I know there's a delay on Facebook, so let's just do it. All right, happy to be here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about avoiding the quarantine 15. I am your coach, Jennifer Dent Brown. So I like to start this off with a little bit of a joke. So for those of you who have been paying attention to social media memes, you may have seen this one, right? Barbie before quarantine and then Barbie after quarantine. She's picked up a couple of pounds. And here's another one. This is actually the first meme that I saw a couple weeks ago. My cousin sent this to me, and I thought it was hilarious. And that's where I got the idea of the quarantine 15. I was like, oh no, we cannot have quarantine 15 happening on my watch, not as your weight loss coach. So this is kind of how the quarantine 15 theme got started. And here's some more. I was cracking myself up. You guys can enjoy these memes. So here's one. Me after I eat all of my quarantine snacks in one night. Because I hear from you ladies, I feel like sometimes people reach out to me just so they can confess their food sins. So I have heard people tell me that they have eaten all of their snacks in like a couple of days. This other one is pretty funny. When none of your jeans fit after being quarantined, so now you have thigh-high boots. I thought that was hilarious. So if you're watching the replay, you guys can go back and look at these a little bit closer and have a good little laugh, right? So I don't want this to be a super serious, heavy thing. I don't want you to feel badly because, you know, you ate all of your quarantine snacks in one night. I want you to know that it is okay. Right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about why it's okay. So this is what I'm going to talk to you about today is a brand new way to think about your weight and eating. Okay? For most of you, this is a brand new way to think about your weight and eating. So I am a professional dieter. I have been on a gazillion diets over the past couple of decades. So I call myself a professional dieter. A lot of the women that I work with are professional dieters. Hi, Scenario, good to see you. And so they understand the dieting mentality. What I want to help you unravel is that dieter's mentality, because that dieter's mentality doesn't work for 99.9% of the population. What I'm going to teach you today is a brand new way to think about your weight and to think about eating and all the reasons why you're eating, okay? So keep an open mind. Now, this is how you all are going to get the best results. You all tuned in because clearly you're worried about gaining weight while we are in this pandemic, okay? So I want the same thing for you. I don't want you to gain weight during this pandemic. So this is how you're going to get the best results from this training. You can sit and be a passive participant, but I want you to be an active participant. I want you to pull out your notebook, pull out a piece of paper. It doesn't even have to be a pretty notebook. It could be a 3x5 card. I want you to take notes, right? Because when you're paying attention and you're taking notes, you're letting the work and the information seep into you at a deeper level. When you're just kind of watching and you're doing other stuff like doing the laundry or doing your dishes or doing other things, scrolling on your phone, you're not really paying attention, you only really learn at one level. And so I've been a student of personal development for decades. And one of the things that I did for decades was listen passively. Listen to all the YouTube videos, the inspirational videos. I had all the DVDs. I watched the documentaries. I listened to the videos from all these motivational speakers and the books. I read the books, but I wasn't really being an active learner. So I want you all to succeed. I want you all to walk away from this feeling confident and feeling good that you can get through this pandemic. You can get through any other crisis, because after we get through this, look, we can deal with anything, right? And not have to worry about your weight. So the way you're going to do that is by starting right now is paying attention and being an active participant. All right, so at the end, you're going to take notes, write down your ahas, share them with me in the group, share them with me in the group chat, share them with me on the Facebook stream. But I want you to ask yourself, how can I apply this information to my life, right? I'm going to talk about my experiences. I might share some of my clients' experiences, but I want you to think about how you can take this information, because remember, this is a brand new way to think about your weight and about your body and about eating. How can you take this information and apply it to your life so you can avoid the quarantine 15, right? That is what we're going to learn today. Okay, so here's the problem, right? Here's a problem that we women across America are dealing with. And you know what? I want to know where you guys are from. So if you get a minute, just type in what city you're in, because I know different cities have different rules and things that are happening. But for the most part, all of us can agree that this coronavirus thing has turned our lives upside down very quickly, right? We didn't have a lot of time to prepare. We just got the stay-at-home order. I know I'm in Philly, so we got the stay-at-home order at the beginning of March. All essential businesses cut down. And then I was very close to the epicenter of Pennsylvania at the time, so everything was like shut down, quick, fast, in a hurry. Didn't have a chance to get my nails done, my hair done, none of that stuff, right? We have this quote, hashtag we're staying at home, but we don't know for how long. All of a sudden, panic shopping just seems like the best thing to do. So what do? We all run to the store. We run to Costco. We run to Sam's Club or BJ's. We go to our local grocery store and we just grab a cart. And I don't know about you guys, but when we went to the grocery store, it was like a frantic energy in the store, right? Some of the shelves were missing. There was like no produce. There was no chicken. What? No chicken. It was just like a frantic energy of people in the store just kind of grabbing whatever they could get and putting it in their cart, right? And so during this panic shopping, we find ourselves putting foods in the cart that we don't normally eat, right? Because We're thinking, right? We're running around the store frantically trying to get food. We're thinking in our head like, oh my God, I don't know how long this is going to last. How long are we going to have to stay in? What if we run out of food, right? You're thinking all of these what if scenarios. And then all of those what if scenarios, all of those unknowns make us feel very, very, very uncomfortable. And so our cravings for all things comfort is like on overdrive. It's like at a level 100, right? And so some of us, right, are normally healthy eaters, right? We get our produce, we shop on the perimeter, we bypass the snack aisle. We don't really go down there too much unless we're buying for the kids, right? But all of a sudden we felt the urge and the need to want to purchase comfort foods like ice cream, goldfish crackers, Cheetos, frozen pizza, boxed macaroni and cheese, cereal, cookies, pancakes, biscuits, Chef Boyardee. If you all have purchased any of this stuff in the past couple of weeks, please tell me. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart emoji, give me something. Just tell me that I am not alone, right? But I know I'm not, because this is why. Packaged food sales have jumped enormously. All right, Siobhan says, don't forget the brownies. Yes, 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 for the brownies. In the past 30 days, right, Campbell's soup sales increased 59%. People are buying canned goods because we need shelf-stable stuff. Pepperidge Farm goldfish crackers surged almost 23%, right? All of a sudden, people want to buy orange crackers. Prego pasta sauce jumped 52% in sales. Ice cream sales increased 50%. Chocolate sales increased 21%. Potato chip sales increased 60%. Chef Boyardee, people. Chef Boyardee saw 50% increase in demand for canned pasta. Yeah, Brig, you guys brought the chips too. Yes. Isn't that interesting, right? So you are not alone, clearly, because this is all of America. So that was part of the problem. The problem continues in the house, right? All of us have different scenarios, but some of us are suddenly forced to work from home. We've never done that before on a regular basis. Some of us are not home alone, right? And so now we're with other people 24/7, where we don't even have an option to like run out and go to a coffee shop to get work done and get out of the house. It's not an option anymore. Some of us have to manage kids while trying to work a full-time job. Some of us don't even have jobs anymore because our businesses that we worked were not essential, and so they've shut down. And so now we're just sitting at home, right? These are problems. Anxiety and stress levels are at a peak for a lot of us. The uncertainty of this disease is unnerving every day. It's something new. First, we thought it just affected the old people. Now it's affecting younger people. And now this week it's affecting animals, tigers, dogs. What? Right? And so because of this constant cycle, we're constantly checking in with the news. This breaking news cycle is addictive, right? Because there's something always new. You turn on the TV and they got the stats up like it's a daggone football game of how many people have been diagnosed with COVID-19. How many people have died from COVID-19, right? And it's bleak. It's not good news. So it's easy to get consumed with worry, and these feelings of chronic stress and boredom are just here. They're just sitting on us heavy because there's no end in sight. We don't know when this is ending. Some of y'all are just going into shelter, stay at home, what do you call it? Demands or requests. And in Philly, like I've been in the house since like the second week of March, right? Almost, oh my God, it's been almost a month. It's crazy. So wait, all of these problems that we're experiencing, and then y'all tell us we're closing the liquor store. What? In Philadelphia, they closed the liquor store like the third week in March, and it was like all hell broke loose, right? You're closing the wine and spirit stores? No. Isn't that an essential business? All of a sudden, we don't know if we're running out of food. We don't know if the liquor stores are closing. Oh, okay. In Atlanta, liquor stores are still open. Good for you. Philly, they are shut down. In New Jersey, they're shut down too, right? And so the panic shopping continues, and we run and we go buy a lot of alcohol. We stock up the bar. We stock up our wine collection. Right? Monet says, don't they know Everclear is good to make hand sanitizer? So it's no wonder we want to eat and drink everything in sight. We are kind of freaking out here, y'all. So our need for comfort comes because we're human beings, right? Our need for comfort comes from a couple of places. The need to relieve stress. Y'all remember Easy Cheese in the can with the Ritz crackers, right? The desire to recreate familiar feelings from childhood. I remember using Prego pasta sauce as a kid. We always had potato chips in our house as a kid, right? So that is just a strong desire to want to feel better. Give us the comfort food, please. So eating and drinking to feel better seems like the easiest thing to do, right? Because we want to feel better. We're in this situation in our homes, right? All of us are dealing with our different circumstances. And then 5 feet, 20 feet away, we've got a pantry full of food, of our favorite snacks, refrigerator full of food, and a wine cabinet full of wine and liquor. Okay? 2 to 3 glasses of wine per day reduce your risk of giving a shit. Right? That is the thought a lot of us are having right now. And if you don't drink, you just insert that glass of wine with a bag of chips or a plate of brownies, right? 2 to 3 brownies a day reduces my risk of giving a shit. I don't really care. I'm eating the brownies. I want to feel better. How many of us have had that thought process or that thought over the last couple of weeks? Let me tell you something. When the chips are gone and the wine bottle is empty, your circumstance is still the same, right? We're still sheltering in place. All essential business or non-essential businesses are closed. We still can't get our nails done. We still can't get our hair done, right? We still have to wear masks going outside. We still have a house full of people. The kids are not in school, right? The circumstance is still the same. The eating and the drinking didn't change anything. So here's my goal today. My goal today is to help you deal with your new normal without buffering with food or alcohol, okay? So to buffer, for those of you who don't know what buffering is, or you need a little refresher, we like to use it as a verb. Us life coaches like to use it as a verb. It means to lessen or moderate the impact of something, right? And so when we use food and alcohol as a buffer, what I'm talking about is we use food and alcohol to distract ourselves, to lessen or moderate the impact of this crisis, of this pandemic. We're using food and alcohol to cope. Now, I'm sure I have talked a lot, and y'all are like, okay, that's great, and who are you? So I am Jennifer Dent Brown. I'm a life and weight loss coach, and I am now your weight loss coach. If you've never had a weight loss coach, welcome to my community, because I believe that anyone who pays attention to me, who wants to be in my community, who wants to hear what I have to say, you're my client, right? I'm here to help you. I treat you like you're my client, whether you pay me or not. I am here to help you. So yes, now you have your own personal weight loss coach. In addition to being your coach, I am also the CEO of LUXE Life Coaching. That is my company, and this is my, you can see my t-shirt, just living my Lux life. We can talk about what that means later. But I'm also a certified integrative nutrition health coach. I'm a professional life coach, and I am the creator of the Stop Dieting Forever formula. That is a step-by-step process that I take my clients through, which I went through myself, to lose weight and to stay there, right? So we diet, not forever. When we stop dieting, we get to our goal weight and we stay there forever. Right now, at the end of the day, I'm an educator. I'm a teacher, right? So this is the reason why I'm telling you to have your notebooks out and have your pens out, This is the reason why I create my slides the way that I do, because I want you to be able to go back and reference this so you can read it without having to listen to the audio. You can just go skip right forward, go to slide number 20. You want to revisit this point and see how it applies to your life, right? I am the product of two educators. My mom was an elementary school teacher. My dad was a gym teacher and a pastor for many, many years, right? So I'm used to teaching. I want you to not just be a passive learner, but I want you to be an active learner and an active participant. So this is why I have these detailed slides for you, okay? I'm here to help you. Let's get all the help that you need today. I'm here to teach you how to use your greatest gift, which is your mind, to help you create new healthy habits. All right. Are we still connected to Facebook? Because it looks like we are stuck on the previous slide. All right, there we go. Gotta love that lag on Facebook. Thank you guys. All right, ladies, it is 100% possible to exist in a house full of food with a refrigerator full of wine and not overeat or overdrink to cope during this crisis, right? Monet told us this is the month of hope. She is our Chief Hope Officer. We are here to give you hope this week. So I'm telling you right now, it is 100% possible for you to be in your house with all of your fun comfort foods and all of your favorite alcoholic beverages and not drink or eat to cope. I'm going to tell you how. We're going to take a look at your mind because yes, mindset matters. All right, so like I said before when I started, people seem to gravitate towards me and they love to confess their food sins. I don't know what it is. I guess because I'm a health coach and I talk about weight loss all the time, but people like to send me messages and tell me like, oh my God, this is what I've been eating, right? This is a direct quote from someone who sent me a message on Facebook Messenger. She was like, girl, I am drinking every night, right? The things that you do, the snacking and the drinking don't just happen spontaneously, right? You don't just end up on the couch with a glass of wine in your hand. These actions are driven by how you feel. And these feelings don't just appear out of the blue, they're generated by your thoughts, right? This is what we've been talking about all week. So here's one reason why you could be drinking every night, right? You may or may not relate to this, but let's just listen in and see, right? So right now you're following this stay-at-home order. Your thought about it is, you know what, this sucks. I want things to go back to normal. And when you think that, you feel irritated. So all day you're thinking, this sucks. I want to go get my nails done. I want to be able to take my kids to the park. I want to be able to send them back to school. I want things to go back to normal, right? And you're having that same thought all day long. And all day long, you're just causing yourself to feel irritated, right? And so all day, you're feeling irritated. And at the end of the night, you get to the end of the day and you sit down and you drink, right? You pour yourself a glass of wine and you feel like it's going to take the edge off, right? If you can relate, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, tell me yes, okay? If you're with me. Now, I want you to think about the past few weeks and write down all of the feelings that you have had most often during the day. Now, if you look at the screen, I have some examples here, right, of feelings. But I want you to really dig deep and don't hold yourself back. I'm not going to like call on anyone and ask them. If we're in class, maybe. I will call on you and ask you to share, right? You can share if you want virtually. But really, really be honest with yourself and write down how have you really been feeling. If you've been pissed off, you write that down. If you have been hell annoyed, right? That's hell of annoyed, hell annoyed. You write that down, right? Write down all of the feelings that you have been experiencing the past couple of weeks. Yes, lackadaisical. I had to put that in there because my client told me that earlier this week. I was like, really? Lackadaisical? Okay. But she just said that she didn't feel like doing anything. She just felt really lazy. She didn't really care about doing the work. She just felt lackadaisical. And I was like, all right, you know, write that down. Stressed. Siobhan says stressed. Sonia says stressed. Monica, distracted, disorganized. Naisha says content, right? And that's just from Zoom. Facebook will catch up. But keep writing down these thoughts or these feelings that you're having most often as we're talking through and going through this, because this is going to be really important, right? I want you to circle your top 3 feelings, because these are going to be your clues to avoiding the quarantine 15 weight gain, okay? So that's why I want to spend a little bit of time here. Just hang out here for a second and get really, really clear about how you've been feeling the past couple of days. Because this is going to help you avoid the quarantine 15 weight gain. Yeah, Briggs says she's been feeling focused. Me too. Yeah. Monica says hollow. That's a good one. Hollow. You can focus on the negative feelings and the positive feelings, whatever you're feeling, right? This is what is true for you. I have been feeling confused, for one, because there's so much stuff happening in the world. I've also been feeling very creative. Some days I'm feeling very hopeful. Other days I'm feeling very listless. Like, it just depends. Okay, so circle your top 3. Now, new page in your notebook, right? This is going to be the game changer for all of you professional dieters, okay? We're going to talk about this thing called the think, feel, act cycle. We've all the coaches have talked about it in a very different way, but we're going to apply this think, feel, act cycle to what it means to you and your eating and your weight, right? Whether you gain weight or whether you lose weight, this is the game changer. Right? So when you think a thought, it creates a feeling which propels you to act. All right, let's see what that looks like with this example we just talked about. When my friend texted me or sent me a message on Facebook and said, girl, I'm drinking every night, right? How does that work with this think, feel, act cycle? Thank you, Siobhan. So you're following the stay-at-home order, right? She could be thinking, this sucks. She wants things to go back to normal. And again, that thought makes her feel very, very irritated. Her resulting action is that she drinks at night to cope. She drinks at night to feel better, right? And her result from this think, feel, act cycle is that she gains weight. Because I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who can drink every night and not gain weight, right? If there's some special wine out there or you can drink every night and not gain weight, please tell me. All right. So let's look at another example. I had someone leave me, I forgot what I posted on my Facebook page, but she posted in the comments, she's like, I cannot stop eating. She said she feels like she's eating every 15 minutes right now. Right, so let's look at that action of can't stop eating with this think, feel, act cycle. Right, I know her, I went to high school with her, so I know that she's working at home, she's got 2 young kids. Right, her thought could be, this shit is not working. Right? So every time she thinks this isn't working, she's feeling anxious. She's causing herself to feel anxiety about everything that's happening. She's trying to work, she's on the Zoom conference, the kids are walking in and out, they're asking for stuff, right? This isn't working, and it's making her feel anxious. Her chronic anxiety, because she's thinking this thought all day, is causing her to snack all day, right? The snacking all day is her action. Her result from snacking all day is weight gain, right? You see how this girl is like chomping down on these Cheetos? I can only imagine the color of her hands when she finishes eating that bag of Cheetos, right? So I want to get down to the nitty gritty, right? We understand that we're using food, we're using alcohol to cope. But I, again, want to help you avoid gaining weight during this quarantine. So there's 2 simple steps. 2, that's it. 2, 1, 2, to avoid gaining the quarantine 15. All right, step number 1, write this down, new piece of paper. To understand, pay attention is step number 1, right? Why are we paying attention? What are we paying attention to? When you don't know why you're eating all the things, and that's what someone in our group posted and said, I'm just eating all the things, right? I need you to pay attention to how you're feeling most of the day, right? That's it. Just pay attention, be aware, understand what's happening in your, what feeling are you feeling in your body? What thoughts are you having, right? Pay attention. Very, very easy. I'm not asking you to like start training for a marathon to lose weight. I'm not asking you to, you know, make sure you get 10 hours of sleep every night. No, I'm just asking you very simply, pay attention, right? Isn't that what you tell your kids when you're fussing at them and you're like, girl, pay attention. I'm talking to you right now. Pay attention to your brain, right? This think, feel, act cycle, when you become acutely aware of this mindset, and I want you guys to write this down. Here is the clincher. You can choose to feel differently about the same circumstance. Yes, you can choose to feel differently about the same circumstance. Only when you do step 1, which is to 1, become aware. Right? And so you're like, well, what are the circumstances? Remember, we talked about the problems at the beginning, the problem that we stocked up on comfort foods and alcohol during our panic shopping, the problem of sheltering in place alone or with a whole bunch of other people in the house, the problem of working from home, or the problem of not working at all. And I'm using air quotes around problem. The problem that we are homeschooling the kids, and the problem that we are trying to avoid to get sick. Everybody has similar circumstances caused by this pandemic, caused by this crisis, right? But this think, feel, act cycle is going to give you permission and show you how to, what I call, flip the script in your brain, right? So you can choose to think, I'm healthy, I'm safe, my family is healthy, my family is safe. And when you think that, you can feel peaceful. You can feel at peace, right? And when you're feeling peaceful, you will decide to drink kombucha instead of wine, right? For those of you who don't know what kombucha is, it is a fermented drink that is really good for your guts. It's a healthy thing, right? So instead of drinking the wine, you're like, oh, wait, I'm going to put something a little bit healthier in my belly right now, right? So I want you to write that down. Step number 2, as I take a sip of water, is deciding how you want to feel about the current circumstance. How do you want to feel about it, right? You get to choose. All of your thoughts are 100% optional and changeable. Can I just tell you, thank you, Brig. When I first heard that sentence, a coach said to me, all of my thoughts are 100% optional and changeable. I was like, what? Mind blown. I wrote it on a Post-it note. It's here on my desk right now. It's still here. It's all, the pen and the ink is all faded away because of the sun. But that was the first moment that I was like, what? I get to choose how I want to feel about this crappy circumstance? What? That was a true game changer when it came to losing weight. All of your thoughts are 100% optional and 100% changeable, right? And so you have the option. You have this beautiful brain of yours, and you get to generate new feelings and new thoughts, right? If I were in church right now, I would say hallelujah. You get to generate new feelings and new thoughts. So here are some thoughts that I've been using to cope with this crisis, and I want you to borrow them. I want to hear what some of your thoughts are too, if you have some that you've been using. right? My strength is greater than my fear. You can borrow these, you can write them down, take them with you, use them as your own. But my strength is greater than my fear. Corona, what? Some of my Facebook posts and Instagram posts, I've been like, hashtag Corona, what? Because I'm not freaking out anymore about the Corona. No, my strength is greater than my fear. My immune system is healthy and strong. And let me tell you, I use this thought crazily. Like the beginning of March, I thought I had the Rona. I thought I had the coronavirus because I was sick. I started to get the cough and the sore throat, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I was just putting myself into like complete rabbit hole of stress and anxiety. And then I got a hold of myself. I did my self-coaching, and I was like, hold up. I am not sick, right? My immune system is healthy and strong. And literally 24 hours later, I was fine, right? We will overcome. We will overcome as a family. We will overcome as a household. We will overcome as a community. We will overcome as a city. We will overcome as a state. We will overcome as a country. We will overcome as the world, right? The coronavirus is a temporary thing. It is a circumstance, and it will pass just like everything else. It will pass. How can I help? This is a question, right? This is a question you can ask yourself. When you're beginning to freak out in your own freak out zone, think about helping someone else. How can you help someone else? Maybe it's your child, right? Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe they're having their own freak out moment quietly, and you're so focused on yourself. Siobhan talked about that. Like, how can you help your spouse? Right? How can you help your child? How can you help your neighbor? How can you help? Right? This is how this whole Coaches of Color collective came about, because Brig came to us and she's like, I want to do something to help the people. And so here we are, right? Here's another thought. I'm doing my part to flatten the curve and support our frontline workers. Hashtag stay home, right? I have family members who are in the medical profession who are working in hospitals. I have friends who have spouses who work in the ER, right? Think about them. You staying at home, chilling with your pina coladas and your glasses of wine and your bag of Cheetos and your plate of brownies. That's all you have to do is sit at home, right? Do your part. Support our frontline workers. This too shall pass, right? We're all my church folks. This too shall pass, right? And some of you are like, okay, Jennifer, that's lovely and all, but I'm really pissed off. I'm really annoyed. I am really stressed out. I just can't flip the switch and be happy all of a sudden. That's not real. That's not true to me. I understand. I get it, right? So what I want you to do is insert your negative emotion into this sentence, into this thought. And let's say your negative emotion right now is pissed off, right? You're pissed off because you got to stay in the house with all these people. Or maybe you're pissed off because you're at home and you don't have a boo to be with and share this crisis time with, right? So you may say, I may be pissed off, but what is my next best emotion that I can feel? Right? What can I feel that is a little bit better than pissed off? All right. So maybe it's like, I'm a little angry right now, but what is my next best emotion, right? And keep asking yourself that question until you get to a place where you can be like, Corona, what? Right? So generate new thoughts and new feelings because you have that brain. All right, so we're wrapping up here. We're getting toward the end. But this is how you stop the quarantine 15 weight gain today. Today, right? Not tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday. This is how you do it today, right? So the next time you get the urge to eat or drink something, right? This is exactly what I tell my clients. I want you to pause, right? So every time you have that thought like, oh, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. Or like, I need something to drink right now. Every time you have that thought, because again, like I said, you just don't end up with a bag of Fritos in your hand, right? You have a thought that causes you to go get the bag of Fritos. right? So the next time you get the urge to drink or eat something, I just want you to pause, stop, right? And ask yourself a couple of really important questions. How am I feeling right now? Why do I feel the way that I do? How do I want to feel? Because remember, you have the option to change your thoughts at any time. How do I want to feel? Is eating or drinking going to help the situation at all? Right? And what can I control right now? So I want you to write those questions down, put them on a Post-it note, stick it on your refrigerator, stick it on your food cabinet, on your pantry, but just pause and stop. The easiest thing that you can do to avoid gaining the quarantine 15. And then when you have a moment to like think through while you're wanting to eat and thinking through while you're wanting to drink, you have the option to decide to choose another thought. Very, very simple, right? You have that decision. You have that power. There's no arm that is reaching for you from the kitchen like, please come eat the freshly baked bread. You know, Dr. Sonia said her son was baking bread, right? He wasn't like shoving it down her face. She has that decision. She's a choice that she can make whether she wants to eat the bread or not. You decide whether you want to choose another thought that is going to generate another feeling, which is going to cause you to do a different action. So the other thing you can do to avoid the quarantine 15 today, not tomorrow, not on Monday, but today, you can just start to make some small changes now. Look, we're in a pandemic, people, right? I'm not expecting you to, come out of this like losing 20 pounds and feeling ripped and all of this stuff, right? We're in a pandemic. This is a crisis. None of us have ever been in anything like this before. Give yourself some grace, right? It is okay to be worried and scared. Give yourself some grace, but understand that you have the opportunity to come out of this crisis a little bit better than when you went in. Okay? So I want to give you that encouragement. And you can do that by beginning to make very small changes right now, today, right? As soon as this is finished. Instead of drinking 2 glasses of wine tonight because it's Friday and it's been a long week and you just feel like you need 2 glasses of wine, instead of drinking 2 glasses of wine every night, you can decide, and you know how I underline the word decide because that is the game changer right there, your decision, to drink 1 glass of wine and 1 glass of water, right? You can make that small change right now. If you've been snacking all day for the past couple of weeks, you can decide right now to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner and have 1 snack, right? You can decide that. You don't have to eat breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, bed. No, you decide to have 1 snack. Instead of mindlessly eating junk food every day, right, just sitting at your desk with a bag of tortilla chips, right, you can decide ahead of time when you're going to eat your tortilla chips and stick to that plan, right? So instead of just mindlessly eating popcorn while you're watching, binge watching Netflix, you can decide, you know what, on Sunday, we're going to sit down as a family, we're going to binge watch this show, and we're going to have popcorn. Boom, stick to that plan. But don't continue to just mindlessly eat snacks all day because it's in the house, right? Make a decision. So I want you to just focus on making small micro changes beginning today, right? And begin to just improve every day and start to unravel that quarantine 15 habits that you've been doing or you've been following for the past couple weeks. All right, so if you guys have questions, get them ready. But while you're getting your questions ready, I want you to grab my brand new copy of my newest weight loss guide called Stop Dieting Forever. Okay? And here's a link that you can go grab it. It is brand new. It is the 4-step process to lose weight when diets just don't work anymore. And let me tell you something. I've been taking my clients through this. We've been doing a 30-day challenge in my client community, taking them through these 4 steps that I outline in this guide. And they're losing weight. We're only in week 2. But in week 1, the average weight loss for my clients was 4.6 pounds. Amazing. I was like, I was shocked, like, what? Awesome. Thank you, Siobhan, for putting that in there. Yeah, so go check out this. It's very comprehensive. Again, remember, I said I'm an educator. So I give you all the details. Go grab your free copy of my newest weight loss guide, Stop Dieting Forever. Okay, and then you will officially be in the LUXE Life community, and I am your coach. All right, you can also hit me up on social media. Instagram and Facebook are my favorite places to hang out. These slides I will make available in the PDF form after this, so you can go back, check my unit, look at your notes, ask yourself, how can you apply this information to your life? Think about everything that you've learned this week. How can you apply this information to your life? And really, really begin to let it sink in and start making some changes, y'all. Start making some changes. We don't have to be in bondage, mental bondage anymore. We don't have to be. We have these beautiful brains. We have the ability to make decisions. We have the ability to choose our thoughts and our feelings no matter what their circumstance, right? Whether we want to start a new business, whether we want to just get ourselves out of a mental rut, what I call the rabbit hole, whether it is upping up our sex life, or whether it is dealing with our spouse while we're in this crisis time, or whether it is dealing with grief and trauma. All of these things are exasperated during crisis, right? But we coaches came together to help you thrive, not just survive. So even though I am the last live presentation for the week, tomorrow we're getting together, all the coaches, tomorrow morning on Saturday for coffee chat, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. We want you guys to join us live. We're going to be available to answer any questions that you have. We're going to talk amongst ourselves. We're going to have just good old-fashioned girl chat time. Bring your preferred AM beverage. We're going to post the login details in the group. But we want to see you, right? We want to make sure that you walk away from this week not just being a passive participant, but we want to make sure you got what you came for. Because you joined this group because you knew you needed some help dealing with this crisis. And if we don't want you to leave and you're still feeling hurt, or you're feeling disappointed, or you're feeling scared, or you're feeling fearful, right? If you have any of those emotions, you bring them to us in this group, or you bring it tomorrow to us during the coffee chat. This group right now will remain open for another week. We are here, where all the coaches are in the group checking. We want to hear from you because, again, we are very blessed as coaches. We are very blessed as life coaches. And so we have these tools and these strategies that we have learned and that have been super helpful to us. If you haven't listened to our own life transformation, our stories of life transformations, go back and look at the video that was first posted in the group, right? And we share all of our transformations and why life coaching is so important to us. But we want you to thrive. We want you to just be the beautiful person that you are. And you can't do that when you're living in fear, when you're living in doubt, when you're living in scarcity, when you're living in just overwhelm, right? We want to help you thrive. We're here for you. Okay, so any questions about the quarantine 15? Or does anyone need coaching? I'm going to turn my screen share off so y'all can see my shirt in full. Can you see? Living my LUXE life. All right. Any questions, comments, ahas? Tell me all the things. Thank you, Naisha. I'm glad you were able to join. Thanks, Brig. Thank you to my fellow coach panelists who were reminding me of the time, keeping me going. I can tend to be very verbose, so I didn't want to go over my time. All right, so listen, ladies, again, don't leave without getting what you came for, okay? So if you're watching the replay, if you have questions, type them in the Facebook group, tag a coach, and get the answers that you need. Get the support that you need, okay? Question, can you talk more about the ID, the emotion that's leading you to eat it? I'm not sure what the question means. Can you talk more about how to ID the emotion that's leading you to eat it, how to identify it? Okay, so that takes practice, right? Identifying an emotion takes practice. I know Monet walked through a really, really great series of questions on being able to sit with an emotion and let it pass through you. But for most of us who are just new to this work, identifying emotions is not second nature, right? It's a skill that you have to learn. I tell my clients, it's like you're learning a new language. So you really just have to, one, be aware that something is not right? All of us know when like, oh, we feel good, or oh, we don't feel so good, or we just feel like crap, right? We all know like something is off or something is good, right? So that is your number one trigger to kind of check in and be like, oh, why am I feeling this way, right? Why am I feeling great today? And what does that feeling feel like in me? Or why am I feeling like meh, right? It takes time, it's a skill. But once you become aware that your emotions and your feelings change consistently over time, you just get better and better and better at it, right? So when you have an emotion that is leading you to eat, it's really simple. Again, when you get the urge to eat and you get the thought that you want to eat something or go drink something, to stop for a minute and start asking your question. You don't need to quantify your feeling with a one-word emotion. You can just be like, damn, pissed off right now. Or, I'm feeling really stressed, right? But then you're feeling like, well, what's happening? You ask yourself like, well, what's happening that I'm feeling this way? Prime example. So when I was learning this, I used to work from home with my corporate job. And so I've been working from home for years. And I would get off of a meeting with a bunch of people, and there would always be like a long list of things to do, right? Always a long list of things to do. You come out of the meeting and it's like, okay, I got all this work to do. And so for me, that was a feeling of anxiety or like, ugh. So I didn't even recognize what it was. But every time I would finish a call, I would get up, go downstairs to the kitchen, and get something to eat. Like, not like a meal, but just like, oh, let me pop something in my mouth, right? Just to relieve the tension. But at the time, I didn't realize what all that was, right? It didn't dawn on me that it was the anxiety from the meeting until I stopped. Until I was like, oh, wait, I'm going to get something to eat. What's happening right now? And I was like, oh, check my thoughts. I'm thinking about the work. I'm thinking about stuff I got to do. I'm thinking about how so-and-so made me mad on the call, right? That was causing me to want to go eat, right? But it wasn't until I stopped and asked myself those questions was I able to identify that feeling of just anxiety or stress, right? It was just a habit for me. I think I used to tell myself like, oh, I need to go stretch my legs, right? So I get up from my desk and go stretch my legs and go to the kitchen. I can stretch my legs, but I ain't got to go eat, right? Okay, that was a good question. Hope that was helpful. All right, if there are no other live questions, then I'm going to call this one done, y'all. I'm going to take a sip of my water and just see. It was my honor to be here with you for this time. I hope you got something helpful from this. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaways were. And happy Good Friday, happy Easter to those of you who are celebrating that. And I will see y'all in the group. I'll see y'all tomorrow, Saturday morning, for coffee chat. You're welcome. Bye, y'all.